What you're about to hear are real news stories, reported and documented incidents that most Black people never hear about or see. Not because they aren't happening, but because mainstream media rarely prioritizes news that centers us, protects us, or warns us. At Black Joy Interrupted, we surface those stories, add perspective, and talk honestly about why they matter, so we can recognize the patterns, understand what keeps repeating, and make sure our joy doesn't get snatched in silence. Welcome to Black Joy Interrupted. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for spending your time with us. In today's video, we're sharing news stories that show up in different places and involve different people. But they all point to the same issue: the interruption of our Black joy. Staying informed helps us with staying grounded. And staying grounded matters because when we're faced with situations like these, we need to be able to protect our peace without being caught off guard. So let's take a look at what's been happening around the U.S. these days.
According to news reports, a white woman was informed by staff that her credit card had been declined and that she would need to leave the establishment. The bartender handling the situation was firm and direct, telling her not to return. Instead of leaving, the woman redirected her anger toward a Black bartender standing behind the bar. Witnesses say she began using racial slurs openly, repeating them multiple times. Her comments were not whispered or implied. They were spoken clearly and deliberately. The situation escalated when she accused the bartender of wanting to sexually assault her. She referenced rape explicitly, tying the accusation to race and physical appearance, and repeated the claim while mocking him. At one point, she allegedly emphasized that she had blonde hair and blue eyes, suggesting that this somehow justified or reinforced her accusation. She also claimed to be an attorney and implied that she had the authority or ability to retaliate if she chose to. Rather than leaving immediately, she stated she would take her time. Before being escorted out of the bar, she threw her beer in the bartender's face. The events that led up to the confrontation were not captured on camera, but the exchange itself was recorded and quickly spread online.
Are you deaf? I mean, I swear to God, I'm so sorry you can't me. I'm so sorry, the blonde hair and blue eyes you can't. Oh, how many more white girls need are on the bus? Take my sweet. That's okay, I'm a lawyer.
Okay. Yeah, I got a video of it.
Many people expressed alarm not just at the racial slurs, but at how casually a sexual assault accusation was introduced into what began as a simple business interaction. Data cited alongside the story notes that Black men are significantly more likely than white men to be wrongfully convicted of sexual assault, even though federal statistics show that most sexual violence occurs between individuals of the same racial background. The bartender did not physically retaliate, and there is no indication that he engaged in any inappropriate behavior.
That encounter happened across a bar counter, but the same behavior shows up far beyond nightlife settings, especially when Black people are working and can't simply walk away.
This story comes out of Atlanta during a traffic standstill that had drivers stuck side by side with nowhere to go. A Black Lyft driver was transporting passengers when another driver, a white man reportedly operating a company vehicle, began directing his frustration toward him. According to the passengers, the man initiated the interaction, motioning for the Lyft driver to roll down his window. When the window came down, the situation immediately escalated. The man began yelling insults, first criticizing the Lyft driver's driving and then attacking his profession.
You drive for a living and you're on the shoulder, you dumb motherfucking monkey.
You driving for a living too.
And I'm getting paid.
You ain't getting paid right now. You getting laid in the fucking truck.
What? Do what?
You getting laid in the fucking truck.
Paid.
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah. Me too.
You ain't getting shit. You broke. Shut the fuck up. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit.
I'm getting on your fucking nerve. Getting on your fucking nerve.
He made it clear he believed driving for a living placed the Lyft driver beneath him. Then he crossed the line. He used a racial slur, calling the black driver a monkey, and continued shouting obscenities as traffic remained stalled. One of the passengers, sensing the situation could turn dangerous, began recording from the back seat. The recording wasn't confrontational, it was precautionary, documentation in case the harassment escalated further. What happened next did not match the harasser's expectations. Instead of responding with anger or engaging in a shouting match, the Lyft driver laughed. He remained calm, he stayed seated, and he didn't raise his voice. At one point, he pointed out something the other driver clearly hadn't considered, that both of them were, in fact, driving for a living. That observation only made the situation worse. The white driver grew visibly angrier, repeatedly shouting about money and status, yelling that he was getting paid, while insisting the Lyft driver was not. His agitation increased as the Lyft driver continued laughing, showing that he was completely unbothered. Eventually, the man rolled up his window and disengaged. But the interaction didn't end there. According to the passengers, the video of the incident was later sent to the man's employer. Because he was driving a company vehicle, identifying him was not difficult. Multiple people, including those in the Lyft, reportedly filed complaints using the recording as evidence. The video quickly gained traction online, with many viewers noting how the man's anger intensified precisely because his racism failed to provoke the response he wanted.
And when verbal harassment doesn't get the reaction it's looking for, the next step is often physical escalation, followed by warnings aimed at the person who was targeted.
This story comes out of Madison, Ohio, and centers on a black Amazon delivery driver who says he was physically assaulted while doing his job. According to the driver, David McDonald, he was delivering packages when an older white cyclist approached him and spat on him. The incident was captured on video after the confrontation had already taken place, showing the cyclist with visible injuries and bystanders surrounding the scene.
Right now. I'm calling right now. He spit on me and I beat his ass.
I don't think you are.
You want to call him? I got all y'all on camera. You want to call him? You want to tell him what happened? My name is David McDonald. I'm an Amazon delivery driver. I'm here on West Hill and North Madison Street. I'm delivering. No, I'm talking. What? I'm recording for my safety.
You're not calling the police.
Because I'm recording and documenting. Why y'all not calling the police?
I was like, phone on you.
Right. Sir, can you call the police? No? Okay, that's what I thought. Anybody want to call the police? Nobody. What's your name?
What's your job?
What's your name? What's your name?
He doesn't have a job.
What's your name? How do you know? You his neighbor?
I don't know, but he doesn't have
How do you know? How do you know?
You are a professional.
He spit on me. I don't give a f about this job. He
You're
spit
gonna
on me.
lose it then.
I have so many other ways to make money. I don't give a f about this job.
I guess
I care about my self-respect and my dignity. I beat your ass because you spit on me, you bitch ass.
Why don't you get on your bike?
Yeah, and slap the f up out of here. Don't spit on me again. Watch what you do. You don't know who I am or what I got going on. Don't spit on me. No, f all that. That's the utmost disrespect.
As the situation unfolded, several bystanders inserted themselves into the encounter. Rather than focusing on the initial act that triggered the confrontation, they appeared more concerned with McDonald's response. McDonald says that after being spat on, he reacted by striking the cyclist. When people nearby began questioning his actions, he explained that spitting was an extreme form of disrespect and that he acted in self-defense. One white bystander walking a dog warned McDonald that he could lose his job over the incident. He also suggested that the cyclist had little to lose, implying a difference in consequences between the two men. McDonald pushed back on that framing, stating that his priority was his dignity and self-respect. The video was later shared widely online and drew strong reactions from viewers. Many pointed out that spitting is often treated as the first act of physical violence and that McDonald's response was justified under the circumstances. Others noted a familiar pattern where Black workers are expected to absorb abuse quietly while being warned about consequences the aggressor never seems to face. Under Ohio law, spitting on someone is considered battery, and in some circumstances can be treated as assault if the victim fears further harm.
By this point, the pattern should feel familiar. And it's not about location. It's not about temperament. It's about something deeper. Let's stop pretending these are misunderstandings. These aren't people having a bad day. They're not confused, and they weren't provoked. What you're seeing is racist entitlement, the belief that Black people in service roles are disposable, subordinate, and available for abuse. And when that entitlement doesn't get the reaction it expects, the situation escalates. Look at what keeps repeating. A bartender is accused of grape because a white woman didn't like being told no. A Lyft driver is called an animal because a man wanted to feel superior. A delivery worker is spat on because someone felt disrespected. Different places, different people, and the same impulse. This isn't random. This is patterned behavior. Here's what actually triggers the escalation. It's not anger, it's restraint. When Black people don't yell back, don't swing first, and don't collapse, that calm becomes a problem. Because the goal isn't conflict, the goal is control. And when control fails, humiliation, threats, and false accusations take its place. Now pay attention to the response, not just the incident. Every time, the warning isn't aimed at the person causing harm, it's aimed at the Black worker. You could lose your job. You should have just ignored it. Be careful. That's not accountability. That's conditioning. This pattern survives because the consequences are uneven. The people who escalate get excuses. The people who endure get lectures. The aggressor's behavior is minimized. The Black worker's response is scrutinized. That imbalance isn't accidental. That's how the system protects bad behavior without ever saying it out loud. Racism doesn't need hoods. It doesn't need slurs shouted in crowds. It survives just fine through silence, through delay, through selective enforcement, and through people pretending not to see what's obvious. These stories aren't rare. They're just rarely connected. And that's how the pattern survives. When every incident is treated as isolated instead of exactly what it is. That's why we document them. That's why we name them. And that's why we don't pretend this is accidental. And if you think this pattern stops at insults or public confrontations, the next story shows just how dangerous it can become when isolation and power are added to the mix.
This story comes out of rural Marion County, Florida, and begins with a mistake that could happen to anyone. A Black woman named Jakara Wilson was making a grocery delivery for Kroger's grocery store when she took a wrong turn and ended up on a remote road near the Ocala National Forest. Her delivery vehicle became stuck in the mud, leaving her unable to move forward. Following company policy, Wilson called a tow truck to pull the vehicle out. While she waited, a young woman approached her window and told her that her grandfather could remove the vehicle for $100. Wilson declined the offer, explaining that a tow truck was already on the way. When the tow truck arrived, the situation escalated.
Dude, you better get away from her. You don't need to pull her out. You can't pull her out. It's my job to pull her out. It ain't yours. Go away, dude. I'm telling you. Go away or I'm going to move you away from me. I'm fixing to knock you the fuck out.
Go ahead.
You better move, dude.
Riley.
I don't care who the fuck you call. I'll knock your ass out too. You want to bet? You better get away from me.
I ain't touching you.
Yes, you are touching me. Move.
Nope.
Get away from me.
You got doing cavern.
Good.
Don't be on the ground.
Good. You get away from me.
Yay.
I don't care how old you are. You don't throw nothing at me, dude.
I did. I moved you over in there.
Dude, I'm telling you, you better get away from me, man. What do you think you are?
Let me FaceTime
Move.
Marquise.
Go away. Move. You're threatening me. I'm fearing my life.
I moved, dude.
Rich, move. Get off of me. Get off of me, dude. I'm telling you, move. Go ahead. I wish you would. Yeah. You better move, dude. I'm telling you. No. Get away from me. Hey. Get away from me.
I got it all on video. This is why I'm uncomfortable. Huh?
Don't come near me.
The tow truck man and this man is the old man.
I don't give a fuck who he is.
He telling the man he can't get me out.
I bet you ain't. You don't own this road, dude.
See, this is exactly why.
You want to make a bet?
Yep.
All right, okay. I'll make a damn bet.
You better get away from me.
No, the old man, he said he is touching the stuff, moving the ropes and stuff. He's like, oh, you can't be here, da da da. He on a truck. This old man on a truck and everything. But I've been recording it, so they is, I guess. I don't know.
Turn your wheel back to the right.
Right. Okay.
Keep going. Put your hands on.
And yeah, no, the other man. Then this old man just threatened me. He said, "You better not move." Look, they fighting.
Oh. Get back, boy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and the other man.
Swing. There I am.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You want to take?
Are you done?
Get him, Sadie.
Are you done?
Get him, Sadie.
Are you done?
This is why, right?
Here you at?
Dude. No, hey. Laura, get my pistol.
This one right here in the pen. She came with the tow truck man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I told you. I'm recording it though. Yeah, y'all doing y'all job.
We're contract.
Yeah, y'all doing y'all job.
Listen.
We trying to leave and
get him away from me, please.
Out.
Dude, get him away from me.
Do our job.
Get him away from me.
All I asked him was that.
Get that off of me.
So we can do our job.
Did I not ask?
he live here too. He the good one.
I do. Your own private property.
They tripping.
Get off of it.
Get him away. I'll let go.
Dad, I can't breathe. Get that.
Get off of me.
Dude, I don't want
Please get him back.
Stop.
They tripping.
Next one, text me, I'm going to cut your guts out.
Good. I got it. Oh, you want to do that?
Yep. Go ahead. Trust me. Back away from me and leave me the f*** alone.
You ain't leaving.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Like this a main road. He just standing there. I got my foot on the brake, but he trying to pull it. He pulling it. He literally trying to pull it. But the man literally standing here. I don't know. I'm in the truck. What? Hold on. He says something.
He's kidnapping you.
Yeah.
So please get in drive and follow me.
Okay. Oh no, I gotta put my seatbelt on. All right. I don't even know the address. This man.
I have to drive down this road.
Wait, yeah, I can't. He talking about if I run him over. I'm trying to get out the way. Look at him. Marquis, look at him. Get. I'm trying. Oh my goodness. This is too ghetto. This is why. Oh my gosh.
911, PD, please fire or you done?
Hello. I got someone here obstructing this company from getting me out the tow, getting me towed from the sand. I got video. They already fought and everything. The tow truck trying to get me out of the sand, and the man is literally standing in front of my truck, a company truck, telling me I can't leave.
Okay, what's the location?
I don't even. Let me see. I don't even know. I'm on 96th Street in Altona. I don't even know where I'm at.
Are you in Marion County, maybe?
Yes.
He claimed the road was his private property and insisted that only he had the right to pull the vehicle out. Despite records later showing the road was a public area, Fritzinger continued blocking the tow truck. He removed the tow straps, stood directly in front of the delivery vehicle, and dared Wilson to run him over. Throughout the chaos, Wilson remained inside the vehicle. She later said she did not feel safe exiting her car. Even after the fight subsided, Fritzinger continued to block Wilson's only path out, preventing her from leaving. The tow truck driver told Wilson that she was being held against her will and urged her to follow him once the vehicle was freed. Unable to get around Fritzinger, Wilson called 911. When a sheriff's deputy arrived, Fritzinger claimed he had not tried to stop anyone from leaving and insisted he was simply protecting his property. But Wilson had recorded the entire incident. After reviewing the video on scene, the deputy determined that Fritzinger had unlawfully prevented Wilson from leaving and arrested him for felony false imprisonment. Fritzinger was later convicted and sentenced to probation. Wilson later shared the videos online, expressing disbelief that an incident she described as an attempted kidnapping resulted in such a light sentence.
What these stories show isn't just racism, it's training. Training people to believe that disrespect is normal, that abuse is part of the job, that silence is safer than accountability. And once that behavior becomes routine, it stops shocking people, which is exactly how it survives. Why is it always the black worker who's warned about consequences instead of the person causing harm? At what point did keeping the peace become code for tolerating abuse? And how many of these incidents stay invisible because the person targeted couldn't afford to respond? If any of these questions hit close to home, say so. Share what you've seen, share what you've experienced, and share what people keep telling you to ignore. The comment section isn't just engagement, it's record keeping. If this video helped you to see the pattern more clearly, like it so it reaches more people who need to recognize it too. And if this is the kind of reporting and analysis you value, subscribe to our channel. It's free, and it motivates us to keep sharing stories that others refuse to. Thank you for watching Black Joy Interrupted. We'll keep documenting what keeps repeating.